Hello friends, welcome to Anatomy and Physiology video lecture series. Myself, Varaprasad Saka, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacology and Pharmacy Practice, Vignan Pharmacy College.
Hello friends, in this video lecture we are going to learn a very important tissue in our body, that is muscular tissue. Muscular tissue which accounts for nearly 45% of our total body mass. Most of the work generated by the body, such as moving of food through the GI tract, conversation means making of words, maintaining body posture, postural balance, and the movement of skeletons like we walk, we speak, we run, we jog, etc. So these are all the functions or the works made by our muscular tissue in our body. And our muscular tissue is of three types: skeletal, cardiac, and smooth muscles. These three types differs in their anatomy, location, and how they are controlled. The types of muscles, first one, skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle which helps in the movement of bones of skeleton, hence it is named as skeletal muscle, and it has striations because of the presence of light and dark band formed by muscle proteins, and also voluntary functions. Cardiac muscle, which is found only in the heart, it is striated but it is involuntary in function. Smooth muscle. Smooth muscle is found in the walls of hollow organs such as blood vessels, GI tract, etc. It is unstriated but involuntary in action, controlled by autonomic nervous system. Coming to the functions of muscular tissue helps in the movements of our body like walking, running, etc. And also helps in the maintenance of our postural balance, body balance, and also helps in the storing and moving of substances within the body required by both the skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscles. It also helps in the production of heat, which is a byproduct of friction caused by muscular tissue. Coming to the properties of muscular tissue, every muscular tissue is electrically excitable, means whenever there is an electrical impulse produced by a neurons, the following muscle is also excited in the same way as the neuron. Contractility. Contractility is a property of a muscular tissue which has an ability to contract upon stimulus by impulses. Extensibility. Extensibility is an ability of a muscle cell to extend or stretch without being damaged within limits. Elasticity is also one of the property of a muscular tissue to return or regain its original length and shape following a contraction or relaxation. Coming to the structure of skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle in our body appears in the form of bundles. We call it as muscle bundles. Here we can see muscle bundles. This is the muscle bundle. This entire thing is called as muscle bundle. And this muscle bundle is comprises of a small groups of muscle fibers. We call it as fascicles. Here you can see a fascicle. This is a fascicule. Here it is a fascicules. Okay, and each fascicle consists of muscle fibers. This is a muscle fiber, and muscle fiber is a cell of muscles which consists of a small fibril-like structures called as myofibril, and this one is myofibril. This one is myofibril, and in each myofibril there are filamentous-like structures which we call it as which are formed by means of muscular proteins. So in a muscle we'll see a group of muscle fibers called as group of myofibrils called as muscle fiber, a group of muscle fibers called as fasciculus, and group of fasciculus called as muscle bundle. Muscle bundle is attached to the skeleton or bones of the skeletal system by means of tendons. Tendons are the structures which connects the bones to muscles, and tendons are the avascular collagenous network, collagenous framework which attach to the periosteum of the bone. And the collagenous tendon which continues over the skeletal muscle as epimysium. This is the epimysium. This part is called as epimysium. And in the fasciculus, every fasciculus is covered by means of a connective tissue, which is dense irregular connective tissue, which is a perimysium, which is called as perimysium. So the outermost connective tissue covering is called as epimysium, and the next covering tissue, connecting tissue, which covers the muscle fibers, fasciculus, is called as perimysium, and the innermost layer which connects the muscle fiber or covers the muscle fiber is called as endomysium. Here we can see this endomysium. This is the covering. This is the covering surrounds the muscle fiber, myofibrils. We call it as endomysium. So here we can see those particular things like muscle fibers are surrounded by endomysium, muscle fascicles are surrounded by means of perimysium, muscle bundles are surrounded by means of epimysium. Here we can see the detailed structures called muscle bundle, which individual muscle fiber, myofibrils, sarcoplasmic reticulum and T-tubules. We will study it in detail in the next slides. Here you can see in detail. So here this is the muscle fiber, which is an cell, individual cell of muscles. Here it is nucleus, and it consists of different or numerous myofibrils, which has mitochondria in between. Here you can see in detail. Here you can see this is plasmalemma, or also called as sarcolemma. Sarcolemma, which invaginates into tubules, we call it as T-tubules or transverse tubules. So transverse tubules appears at every end of the sarcomere, and this yellow color structure is called as sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is similar to endoplasmic reticulum, which stores more amount of calcium, which helps in the contraction of muscle fibers. The transverse tubule, along with the dilated edges of the sarcoplasmic reticulum, together called as triad, where we can see two terminal cisternae of sarcoplasmic reticulum and one transverse tubule, together called as triad. Then microscopic anatomy of a skeletal muscle fiber. Each skeletal muscle fiber is a multinucleate, long, slender shaped cells which has myofibrils. So here we have studied the sarcolemma, which is a plasma membrane of the muscle fiber, T-tubules, extensions of the sarcolemma, which forms invaginations into the muscle fibers, and sarcoplasm is the cytoplasm of the skeletal muscle fiber, and myofibrils are the proteinaceous structures which consists of sarcomeres. Sarcoplasmic reticulum is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum of muscle cells, which stores the calcium and released upon electrical excitation. And coming to the filaments, myofibrils, which is made up of different types of proteins, we call them as muscle fibers, muscle proteins. Coming to the myofibrils, microscopic anatomy of myofibrils, which consists of a peculiar filaments called as thick and thin filaments, which are formed by means of muscle proteins, and these filaments which forms into small compartments, we call it as sarcomeres, a functional unit of myofibril, and it consists of different bands. It is divided into different bands and zones based on the appearance, which we are going to learn in the next slides. Coming to the muscle proteins help in the contraction of muscle and also helps in the maintenance of the structure of myofibril. And there are three kinds of proteins. They are contractile proteins, which helps in the contraction of the muscle, and regulatory proteins, which helps in the contraction, maintains the contraction and relaxation of the muscles. And the next one is structural proteins. Structural proteins helps in the maintenance of structure of the entire myofibril. So what are those contractile proteins and regulatory proteins? Contractile proteins are the proteins which helps in the contraction of muscle fibers. They are myosin and actin. Myosin, which forms thick filaments, whereas actin, which forms the thin filaments. Actin has two types of regulatory proteins called as troponin and tropomyosin. Troponin and tropomyosin both regulates the interactions between actin and myosin. These interactions helps in the contraction of muscle fibers. Here we can see the structures or anatomy of each muscle fiber. So this is thick filament. This is thick filament, and each thick filament is formed by means of myosin proteins like this. And it has two heads, myosin heads, and these myosin heads, they are actin binding areas, and ATP binding areas is also here only. Here ATP also is bind. And this is the tail of myosin heads. Here we can see troponin, which has an ability to bind with calcium and regulates the movement of this particular long stranded structure called as tropomyosin. Tropomyosin is attached to the myosin binding sites present on the actin proteins. These are the beaded structures are called as actin proteins, which has myosin binding sites, and these myosin binding sites are covered by means of a regulatory protein called as tropomyosin, and tropomyosin which also associated with the troponin which has calcium binding sites. And when the calcium is bound to this particular troponin, the tropomyosin has a conformational changes and opens the myosin binding sites present on the actin filaments. Coming to the structural proteins. Structural proteins which helps in the maintenance of alignment of remaining other proteins, and stability, also provides elasticity of the myofibrils. They are titin, myomycin and dystrophin. Here we can see titin, myomycin and dystrophin. So here we also can learn the zones and bands. First we will study about those structural proteins. In a sarcomere, there are different zones like H zone, M line, A band, I band and Z disc. Here Z disc, which is formed by means of alpha nebulin, a protein called as. Here we can study about in detail anatomy of sarcomere. Sarcomere which has different proteins, structural proteins. So we'll see those structural proteins. So first structural protein is titin. This yellow colored one is called as titin. Titin helps in the attachment of thick filaments to the Z disc. Thick filaments to the Z disc. So this titin protein which is attached to the M line. So here it will be. So here it is attached to Z disc and here it is attached to M line. In between it attaches and stabilizes the thick filament. Next one is myomycin. Myomycin is the protein which helps in the attachment of thick filaments here. This M line which represents the proteins formed by M line which is formed by proteins called as myomycin. And dystrophin. Dystrophin is the protein which attaches this entire sarcomere to sarcolemma. Sarcolemma. Coming to the zones and bands of the sarcomere. I band means we can see only actin filaments. Where we see only actin filaments is called as lighter I band. So this is I band. And this green color one is Z disc. And A band where we can see both thin and thick filaments. And H zone where we can see only thick filaments. M line is the central line of the sarcomere which is formed by myomycin. Now coming to the neuromuscular junction. Neuromuscular junction is the place at which neuron forms synapses with the muscular sarcolemma. Here you can see the sarcolemma. This is the sarcolemma and this is the neuron. So neuron, it fires or it sends impulses to the muscle fiber, because of which muscle fiber gets also excited and shows contraction. We'll see the process. So when the action potential is passed, the voltage gated calcium channels present in the neuron are opened and they cause influx of calcium. Calcium which are attached to secretory vesicles leads to the release of neurotransmitter, especially here is acetylcholine. And this acetylcholine binds to the receptors present on the sarcoplasmic membrane or sarcolemma. And whenever this acetylcholine is attached to the sarcolemma, receptors present on the sarcolemma, they opens the sodium channels, voltage gated sodium channels. These sodium channels enters into the sarcoplasma. When there is a potential difference in the sarcolemma, the sarcoplasmic membrane gets excited. Means impulse is generated into the transferred into the muscle fiber. Coming to the contraction. When the muscle fiber is excited, the muscle fiber starts to contract. How it is contracted? When there is an impulse to the muscle fiber, this particular impulse is transferred and transmitted to the entire myofibril muscle fiber, and this particular muscle fiber in the sarcoplasmic reticulum, the calcium is released. When the calcium is released, calcium attaches to the troponin of regulatory protein of thin filaments. When troponin gets attached to the calcium, it opens the myosin binding sites present on the actin proteins. These are the myosin binding proteins. And whenever myosin binding proteins are opened, the myosin heads attaches to the actin filaments called cross bridge. We call it as cross bridge. And whenever the ADP present on the myosin heads gets detached, it shows some movement, forward movement called as power stroke. So when there is a power stroke, the thin filament will be slided over thick filament. Hence, this theory is named as sliding filament theory. And this thick filament has a myosin heads. Myosin heads, a place where ATP is binded. That particular site is called as ATP binding site, where we can see a ATPase. So whenever ATP is bound to the thick filament myosin binding heads, it is detached. The myosin binding heads will be detached from the myosin binding sites of actin filaments. And when it touches to the base of the thick filament, the ATP get dissociated to ADP, and ADP makes the particular myosin head to move and form cross bridge between actin filament and thick filament. And when the ADP gets dissociated or detached from the myosin heads, automatically the myosin head shows a movement, we call it as a power stroke, because of which the thin filament is slided over the thick filament, resulting in the contraction. Here we can see muscle is contraction, muscle length is shortened. Relaxation. When there are no more action potential over the muscle fiber, automatically it stops the movement of sodium influx into the muscle fiber. When there is no sodium influx and there is no action potential generation in the muscle fibers, automatically calcium is pumped back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum and everything comes back to its normal state, leads to the relaxation of smooth muscle. By this we have completed the histology and the working mechanism of skeletal muscle, means contraction of physiology of contraction of skeletal muscles. Thank you guys.